And welcome back to the drawing board. Once again, I'm Mark Saxon. Thank you for joining me for yet another week. And you know what? We're in for a great weekend again for some sports. Like I said, this is becoming where it's my favorite time of the year, where all sports are going to start kicking off. Playoffs are going to be kicking off for baseball and a few other things. So soccer's coming up. Can't wait. Cheers. Made that one a little strong. Made that one a little strong. Not gonna lie to you. That's all right. Well, I want to talk about it. Last weekend, I told you guys the Canelo fight would go one of two ways, where it's either Canelo is going to win by split decision because nothing happened and it was a dance recital, or Bud would win because he bullied Canelo the majority of the fight and got a unanimous. And that's exactly what happened. Congratulations to Bud. Crawford kind of just doing, pretty much enough. Had some clean punches, some clean lands, just doing more than Canelo. Where Canelo, I think, was trying to defensively make up those points, kind of turning into a Mayweather. Whether or not he's done is another story. But I'm glad I stayed away from that one money wise, because, like I said, I think my heart would have went to Canelo. But went down like any other boxing match. I figured it would have went down. Like I said, I didn't see any knockdowns or knockouts coming out of that one. So I just wanted to touch on that. Now, it's moving along to the MLB, where starting with my Padres, just looking like they don't want to win the damn thing. I don't understand what's going on. Dropping tonight against the White Sox, losing the series against the Mets. I don't know what's going on. Granted, I understand they're battling through injury, but bats aren't coming through, or when they do come through, pitching doesn't come through, right? They got to figure it out. Phillies clinching the division over there. Once again, we talked about it earlier, where the Brew Crew locking down their playoff berth, and the Cubs locking down their playoff berth. A lot can happen still. The Padres 3.5 out. Dodgers playing a little bit better ball than the Padres, as they are 7-3 in the last 10 with a 2-game winning streak, and the Padres are 4-6 with a 2-game losing streak. So going on to the American League East, where the Yankees still find themselves 3 out. Boston still find themselves 5 out, and Toronto leading the pack. So going to the Central, where the Tigers still ahead 2.5. Cleveland um, in second, and then KC in eighth, and then the West, Mariners hanging on strong as they are now 1 game ahead. And the Rangers are over the Houston Astros, and the Rangers 5.5 back. This is going to be fun. If the season were to end today, the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Houston Astros would be the wild cards on the AL side. The NL side would be the Cubs, the Padres, and the Mets. So, and kind of like I was saying earlier, I mean, the Cubs, or, last weekend, the Cubs playing good ball, 86, 88 and 66. Could you imagine, like, especially if the season were to end today, if you're the Padres, make the playoffs and having to play like the Cubs? Or, even the Yankees having to play like the Astros, or, I mean, even Boston, right off the wrap. So, I mean, it's going to be really interesting. Like I said, strap in. This is going to be fun baseball. There are some teams that are wild cards that are still playing damn good ball that could probably be a division leader. So, pretty much making a wild card and or receiving a wild card opponent isn't a break or a gift anymore. So you never know what's going to happen, and that's what makes this even more fun. So I love it. Strap in for playoff baseball tomorrow. Football Saturday. Let's go talk about it. NCAA. LSU Tigers are looking pretty good. They're 3-0. Uh, Trump team last week, and this week in Southeast Louisiana. Who cares? They should blow them out. But some fun games that I think are going to be fun anyway. Texas Tech and Utah. That should be a good time. Texas Tech at ranked 17. Utah ranked 16. Oregon State. Obviously, Oregon's going to win, I think, but those guys always play each other good. Oklahoma and Auburn. Oklahoma being ranked 11, Auburn ranked 22. I think that's going to be fun. I'm giving it to Oklahoma. Another good one that I think is going to be fun is South Carolina and Missouri. Listen, I don't think it's going to be a takeaway. Although Missouri's projected to win, they're ranked. I think South Carolina can give them a run for their money. So I just think it's going to be fun to watch. And then another one, Miami and Florida. Obviously, I think Florida's going to run away with it, but they're always fun to watch. That rivalry is always there, always alive, and I'm giving it to Miami. That being said, let's go down to the NFL, see what's going on there. Where my Packers play the Cleveland Browns Sunday morning, or at least Sunday morning my time in Arizona. That's going to be fun. Packers looking great. Like I said, that our defense is already good, but it's now even better with Micah Parsons. What worries me is, and I'll say this all season long, is our depth. Not necessarily that we don't have anybody that can play behind the starters, but we have multiple players going down. It seems like every season in the last 4 seasons. So obviously, Jaden Reed going down against the Washington Commanders with a broken collarbone. Got to keep an eye on that. We're still waiting for Christian Watson to come back. Our receiving core is pretty banged up. So I'm going to lean on, obviously, what they have been doing is leaning on Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave, which is obviously two great tight ends doing their job. And, really Josh Jacobs doing his thing, running the ball and being able to maintain control is going to be key to open up that pass game, just like any other football team. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult with a banged up receiving core. So going to lean on the defense, going to lean on that run game. I think it's going to be fun. I expect the Packers to have a deep playoff run um, once again, and I'm hoping that they don't get punked out like they did last season. I mean, like we covered, what happened with the Eagles. Obviously, one hell of a team. Another fun one I think is going to be. I think it's going to be fun to watch. Is the Steelers and Pats, and this is the reason, right? The Steelers coming off that loss, which we could talk about that loss all day long with, you know, not knowing that the ball was live on that kickoff and then Seattle scoring that touchdown. They would have only came out down 3 instead of 10. Rodgers seemed off that day. The defense did, it felt like the defense was on the field more than they should have been, and they got tired. Um, so it'll be fun to see how they bounce back, or if they bounce back. I am predicting the Steelers to win that game. I think it's going to be a close game, though. The Pats, I don't think are going to be a playoff contender, but they've been playing. They've been playing. They've been playing teams tough, and they played the Dolphins, lost 33-27. Played the Raiders. I'm sorry, won 33-27. Played the Raiders, lost 20-13. So they've been playing teams tough. I think they'll play Pittsburgh tough. So I think that's going to be a fun defensive game. Another good one that I think is going to be fun is the Rams and the Eagles. Now, last season, if it wasn't for a few mishaps, I think the Rams could have gotten the one up on the Eagles. The Eagles not slowing down, but I feel like people are starting to figure it out. And the Eagles they're good at adjusting. So we'll see how that one pans out. I am giving it to the Eagles, though. I'm talking like a 20-17 game, though. I think field goal is gonna be what separates them. Maybe 4 points. I think that one's gonna be close. And then the Broncos and Chargers is a very interesting situation going on in the AFC West. Chargers starting off with the Chiefs winning, then going to Vegas and then winning there, and now they have a chance to beat their final opponent in that division 3 weeks in a row, and that's going to set them up beautifully for the end of the season. It's going to be very interesting how the AFC West is going to shape up. Right now, the Chargers are appearing to be the front runner. So I am predicting the Chargers to win against Denver, as that game is at home, their first home game of the season. And I mean, their offense has been looking good, moving the ball well. That defense, Khalil Mack's going to be out for a while, so that's going to hurt. But Bud Dupree came in. Dupree's obviously a boss. Um, Moving Derwin James anywhere you like on that defensive side of the field always helps. And it'll be interesting to see how the Broncos come out and play them, because lining him up as a linebacker, being able to drop into man coverage, if they take advantage of whether or not he's aggressive, can really pan out. Really help the game pan out one way or the other. So that's going to be a fun one to watch. And then finally, I think everyone's got their eyes on that Monday night game. the Lions and the Ravens. And you know what? I'm giving it to the Ravens. No, not because I'm a Packers fan, but because I think the Ravens have been firing off better, quicker offensively than the Lions have started off this year. I don't think that the Lions are going to be a terrible football team. I don't think that they're going to have a losing record, nothing like that. I just think as of right now, the Ravens are clicking better, and I think that they're going to be able to ride that. Losing that game against Buffalo for Baltimore, I think that's only going to build that momentum. Whereas the Lions, like I said, once again, I think they're still figuring it out, working out the kinks. My prediction on that one, I'm like I said, I'm taking the Ravens. I'm afraid of a score. I'm going to say like 31-17 Ravens, which is crazy because the both defenses are good. But that's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm sticking in. It's locked in. Uh, let's go to it. Let's go to our Fuck It Friday bets. So taking Oklahoma over Auburn at a minus 245. Taking Miami over Florida at a minus 325. Taking Green Bay over Cleveland at a minus 500. The Chargers over the Denver Broncos at a minus 155. Philly over the Rams at a minus 185. And this is a small bet. $5 gets you $28. So hey, gotta stack it up little by little. Make some paper over the weekend. Watch some sports, folks. Thank you again for joining me. Once again, I'm Mark Saxon. This is Back to the Drawing Board. Have a hell of a weekend. Drink it up, bet it up, and watch sports.